Hi guys, it's Lexi and welcome back to my channel. Today we are making Kentucky butter cake. So the first and most important step of this recipe is to grease both of your pans. I did a double recipe for this, so I did this recipe 2 times, but for this I just put some butter on a paper towel and rubbed it in really well. And then I preheated the oven to 325 degrees, and then on top of the butter I also put flour just to completely make sure that the pans are non-stick. Then in a stand mixing bowl, I added 1 cup of cubed butter at room temperature, and then 2 cups of granulated sugar. I also added 4 large eggs. Along with 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Then I used 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Then 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, and also 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Then I used half a teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 cup of buttermilk. Then once all the ingredients were in the bowl, I put it in a stand mixer and mixed it on low for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, I increased the speed to about medium speed and mixed for 3 minutes. Once all the ingredients were mixed, I poured everything into the greased and floured pan. And I know it looks a little bit chunky, but I think this is definitely a trust the process recipe. And I set a timer for 65 minutes and put it in the oven. Then, since I'm making a double recipe, I repeated the steps of putting all the ingredients in the bowl and mixing it all together. And as the first cake was in the oven, I poured the second cake into its pan. When the first cake came out, I put the second one in for another 65 minutes, and then I poked holes all over the warm cake and started making the butter glaze, which includes 1/3 cup of butter, 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of water, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I just had that on low heat and mixed it all together until everything was melted. Once the glaze was finished, I poured it all over the cake. Then the second cake came out and I also poked holes all over the cake. I repeated the steps for making the butter glaze and then also poured it all over the cake. An important step for these cakes is to let them sit in their pans for a really long time. I let mine sit almost all day, just so they can completely cool down and absorb the glaze, and this was the final product. Thank you!